Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Put a coat on. Cover the surface of. Furnish with a surface. Coat the cake with chocolate. A thin layer covering something. A second coat of paint. Form a coat over. Dirt had coated her face. Growth of hair or wool or fur covering the body of an animal. An outer garment that has sleeves and covers the body from shoulder down, worn outdoors. Cover or provide with a coat. Put a coat on. Cover the surface of. Furnish with a surface. Appear or become visible. Make a showing. I hope the list key is going to surface again. Information that has become public. The facts had been brought to the surface. Come to the surface. The outermost level of the land or sea. Earthquakes originate far below the surface. A device that provides reactive force when in motion relative to the surrounding air, can lift or control a plane in flight. A superficial aspect as opposed to the real nature of something. It was not what it appeared to be on the surface. On the surface. Surface materials of the moon. The extended two-dimensional outer boundary of a three-dimensional object. They skimmed over the surface of the water. The outer boundary of an artifact or a material layer constituting or resembling such a boundary. There is a special cleaner for these surfaces. A decorative texture or appearance of a surface, or the substance that gives it that appearance. A thin layer covering something. The work of applying something. The surface was ready for a coating of paint. A heavy fabric suitable for coats. Small flat mass of chopped food. Form a coat over. A block of solid substance, such as soap or wax. Baked goods made from or based on a mixture of flour, sugar, eggs, and fat. Growth of hair or wool or fur covering the body of an animal. A recording of a song that was first recorded or made popular by somebody else. They made a cover of a Beatles song. Form a cover over. The grass covered the grave. Clothe, as if for protection from the elements. Cover your head. A fixed charge by a restaurant or nightclub over and above the charge for food and drink. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The cover concealed their guns from enemy aircraft. Travel across or pass over. The caravan covered almost 100 miles each day. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The period covered the turn of the century. A covering that serves to conceal or shelter something. Under cover of darkness. Include in scope. Include as part of something broader. Have as one sphere or territory. This should cover everyone in the group. Fire that makes it difficult for the enemy to fire on your own individuals or formations. Artillery provided covering fire for the withdrawal. Put something on top of something else. Cover the meat with a lot of gravy. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. The protective covering on the front, back, and spine of a book. Make up for shortcomings or a feeling of inferiority by exaggerating good qualities. Bedding that keeps a person warm in bed. He pulled the covers over his head and went to sleep. Hide from view or knowledge. The president covered the fact that he bugged the offices in the White House. Be responsible for reporting the details of, as in journalism. The cub reporter covered New York City. Covering for a hole, especially a hole in the top of a container. Put the cover back on the kettle. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The course covered all of Western civilization. Sit on, eggs. The female covers the eggs. Protect by insurance. The insurance won't cover this. Cover as if with a shroud. Copulate with a female, used especially of horses. The horse covers the mare. A false identity and background, especially one created for an undercover agent. Her new name and passport or cover for her next assignment. Be responsible for guarding an opponent in a game. Be sufficient to meet, defray, or offset the charge or cost of. Is this enough to cover the check? Help out by taking someone's place and temporarily assuming his responsibilities. She is covering for our secretary who is ill this week. Hold within range of an aimed firearm. Invest with a large or excessive amount of something. She covered herself with glory. Maintain a check on, especially by patrolling. The second officer covered the top floor. Play a higher card than the one previously played. Smith covered again. Protect or defend, a position in a game. He covered left field. Provide for. The grant doesn't cover my salary. Provide with a covering or cause to be covered. Cover her face with a handkerchief. Spread over a surface to conceal or protect. This paint covers well. To take an action to protect against future problems. Count the cash in the drawer twice just to cover yourself. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The work of applying something. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. An artifact that covers something else, usually to protect or shelter or conceal it. The act of protecting something by covering it. Form a cover over. A very small distance or space. They escaped by a hair's breadth. Any of the cylindrical filaments characteristically growing from the epidermis of a mammal. There is a hair in my soup. Cloth woven from horsehair or camel hair, used for upholstery or stiffening in garments. Filamentous hair-like growth on a plant. A covering for the body, or parts of it, consisting of a dense growth of thread-like structures, as on the human head, helps to prevent heat loss. He combed his hair. A filamentous projection or process on an organism. A garment worn over other garments. A garment worn over other garments. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Clothing in general. She was refined in her choice of apparel. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Cover as if with clothing. The mountain was clothed in tropical trees. Furnish with power or authority. Of kings or emperors. Cultivate, tend, and cut back the growth of. Dress the plants in the garden. Suitable for formal occasions. A full dress uniform. Kill and prepare for market or consumption. Dress a turkey. A one-piece garment for a woman, has skirt and bodice. Of an occasion, requiring formal clothes. A dress dinner. Put on clothes. We had to dress quickly. Decorate, food, as with parsley or other ornamental foods. Clothing in general. Fastidious about his dress. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Parents must feed and dress their child. Arrange in ranks. Dress troops. Dress or groom with elaborate care. She likes to dress when going to the opera. Provide with decoration. Dress the windows. Give a neat appearance to. Dress the horses. Dress in a certain manner. She dresses in the latest Paris fashion. Arrange attractively. Dress my hair for the wedding. Clothing of a distinctive style or for a particular occasion. Battle dress. Apply a bandage or medication to. Dress the victim's wounds. Convert into leather. Dress the tanned skins. Cut down rough-hewn lumber to standard thickness and width. Put a dressing on. Dress the salads. Put a finish on. Dress the surface smooth. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Provide with something, usually for a specific purpose. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Clothing of a distinctive style or for a particular occasion. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. An article of clothing. Garments of the finest silk. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Qualify for teaching at a university in Europe. He habilitated after his sabbatical at a prestigious American university. Especially fine or decorative clothing. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Provide with clothes or put clothes on. Oval reproductive body of a fowl, especially a hen, used as food. One of the two male reproductive glands that produce spermatozoa and secrete androgens. Animal reproductive body consisting of an ovum or embryo together with nutritive and protective envelopes, especially the thin-shelled reproductive body laid by e.g. female birds. Coat with beaten egg. Egg a schnitzel. Throw eggs at. Cover or coat with a crust. Decorate or cover lavishly, as with gems. Form a crust or a hard layer. Adorn with a robe. Provide with a coating. Enrobe the nuts with chocolate. A decorative texture or appearance of a surface, or the substance that gives it that appearance. The boat had a metallic finish. Event whose occurrence ends something. When these final episodes are broadcast, it will be the finish of the show. Finish eating all the food on one's plate or on the table. finally be or do something. The temporal end, the concluding time. The market was up at the finish. A highly developed state of perfection, having a flawless or impeccable quality. Almost an inspiration which gives to all work that finish, which is almost art. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. The act of finishing. His best finish in a major tournament was third. Come or bring to a finish or an end. He finished the dishes. The place designated as the end, as of a race or journey. A crowd assembled at the finish. Cause to finish a relationship with somebody. That finished me with Mary. Designated event that concludes a contest, especially a race. Excitement grew as the finish neared. Provide with a finish. The carpenter finished the table beautifully. The downfall of someone, as of persons on one side of a conflict. Booze will be the finish of him. Wine tasting. The taste of a wine on the back of the tongue, as it is swallowed. The wine has a nutty flavor and a pleasant finish. A plaster now made mostly from Portland cement and sand and lime. Applied while soft to cover exterior walls or surfaces. Coat with stucco. Stucco the ceiling. Decorate with stucco work. Stuccoed ceilings. Especially of metamorphic rock, having thin leaf-like layers or strata. Ornamented with foliage or foils. Foliate tracery. Number the pages of a book or manuscript. Coat or back with metal foil. Foliate glass. Decorate with leaves. Grow leaves. The tree foliated in spring. Hammer into thin flat foils. Foliate metal. Often used as a combining form, having or resembling a leaf or having a specified kind or number of leaves. Foliate is combined with the prefix tri to form the word trifoliate. Stimulate muscles by administering a shock. Cover with zinc. To stimulate to action. Stimulate muscles by administering a shock. Cover with zinc. Galvanize steel. To stimulate to action. Galvanized into action. Any of various dark heavy viscid substances obtained as a residue. A man who serves as a sailor. Coat with tar. Tar the roof. Surface with macadam. A paving material of tar and broken stone, mixed in a factory and shaped during paving. A paved surface having compressed layers of broken rocks held together with tar.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.